All right, well, I'm gonna try to move my lazy jack and my sail cover down. It's kind of light winds today. To get the most out of my loose-footed main, I like to drop the lazy jacks and get the sail cover out of the way so that the loose foot can be free to be loose. And somebody asked me how I do it with a MacPack, so I'll try to show you. Hopefully the sun's not too bright in your eyes. But let's see if I can show you. So that's how I do it. Just loosen the lazy jacks, pull all three sets of lines forward to the mast. They run parallel to the boom. Undo the sail, top two attachment points for the sail cover. Leave the bottom one in place to hold the sail up. It's not pretty, a lot of lines hanging there. If I was gonna be out all day, I'd tidy that up a bit more, but I'm only out for a couple hours today. So that's how I free my loose-footed main. And there you can see how once the lazy jack and the MacPack's out of the way, I get the full loose-footed main depth. So that's how I do it on Tally Ho. Well, the winds have picked up a little bit. Nice 13 knots apparent as we make our way right along the south edge of Lake Michigan. Certainly not a picturesque view with the steel mills and slag piles and everything else out here, but it is what it is. It's where I sail. Big steel mill right in front of me. One of the biggest steel mills on Lake Michigan right behind me. But it is what it is. We're making a nice 5 knots. Fairly light conditions, a little bit of swell. I think the forecast today is 2 to 3 feet. So it's still a nice day to be out on the lake. It's 60 degrees, maybe 55. North winds blowing up, a little bit of seas, but nothing we can't handle on Tally Ho. We'll have more in a little bit. Mainsail trim looks pretty good from here. Can't complain. Well, the winds have picked up a little bit, a little over 13, sometimes 14 knots apparent. We've switched our tack and we're headed north, almost due north. The winds are a little bit northeast, so not sure if we'll clear that steel mill out there or not. It sticks out into the lake 2 miles almost. We might clear it, or we might decide to tack east again and then have a run from out there home in a little bit. It really is a beautiful day. Not much activity on the lake. No big boats that I can see around. One of my buddies just came out of the marina. I saw him and his son getting their Hunter 33 ready for a sail when I left. Looks like they made it out. Waves are probably 2, 3, maybe 4 footers. Not breaking at all, and pretty far spaced apart. So not too bad. You can see the bow pitching up and down, and that's just due to the wave action and whatnot. But I have yet to find a good way to show the wave height and depth on a camera, but I keep trying. I hung the camera over the edge of the boat and held it right down at the water line earlier. We'll see what that turned out to look like. But doesn't really matter. I'm having a nice sail. We're making 5 knots and breeze is freshening up a little bit. Tally-ho's sails are trimmed, and if it picks up much more than this, we'll probably want to reef the Genoa a little bit, I think. But for right now, we're okay. That's 15 knots apparent right now, and you know, we're holding in there. We're pinched up 30, about 40 degrees off the wind, so she's hanging in there. Sail looks beautiful in the sunshine, doesn't it? We'll have some more later. At 10 o'clock, we're going to tack back towards the marina and kind of make our way back in. Got to be back in around 11 or 11:30, unfortunately. Sail's still looking good. We're going to go a little bit further off the wind, a little more broad reach here in a minute, and then I think that'll give us a good angle to head back to the marina, hopefully. We shall see. Anyway, more later from Tally-ho. That's where Tally-ho usually stiffens up a bit, about 15 degrees of heel. 20 starts to get a little uncomfortable for me normally, and certainly if I have guests on board, we like to try to do a little bit less than that. Especially if the Admiral's here. 10 degrees is too much for her. So anyway, Tally-ho's navigating the waters great. Jack is still out there sailing, coming towards us. My autopilot's getting a workout. I think I'll take over. Sorry about that. Winds are, you know, stiffening up a bit more. 15 knots pretty regularly now, or higher. So I think what I'm going to do is when I need to head back to the marina, if I was in light winds, I would probably do a jibe, but in 15 knots of wind, I'm not so sure I want to take the chance. I ripped an old mainsail that way once, and even though I thought I controlled it pretty well, it still ripped my sail. Mind you, it was 30 years old, so that might have had something to do with it. But I think today it'll be a chicken jibe. I will do a really big tack and get us headed in the right direction. Unless the winds drop a bit, I think I am chicken to do a jibe today, I think. So anyway, we'll have a little bit more later as we make our way. We're trying to get a 15-mile sail in today, or pretty close to it, but I am stuck with a needing to be back headed home no later than 11:30 or so. Taking the wife to lunch. So we'll see. am going to do my chicken jibe here. We're still, you know, pushing 14, 15 knots of wind, so I'm gonna do a chicken jibe and head back the other direction. So I'll leave the camera on while I do my jibe, my chicken jibe, let's say. All right, so our chicken jibe is done. That was a pretty big arc in that tack, but we made it around. And I'm just gonna kind of see how things are before I do any other. I thought about reefing the main, but this tack we're actually just a tad bit running downwind, so I think we'll just leave it the way it is and see if we can ride it out back to the marina in this direction without any more sail adjustments. If anything, I might have to put the jib out all the way again. And that's what I do to put the MacPac and Lazy Jacks back up. I'll do the other side. We're headed back in and we're kind of getting things a little bit situated for dropping the sail and all that. So I'll go up and do the other side next. Always remember to hold on. All right, so we got the sail MacPac back in place with the Lazy Jacks. We're still kind of going a little bit downwind at about 11 knots apparent, but it's blowing harder than that. It's getting warmer, so we must be getting closer to shore. And, yeah, it was pretty good sail, even though it was a short one. We'll have more as we dock, I think. Okay, so we're gonna try to get the jib all put away real quick. Since my boat's not. Let's try that again. Autopilot struggling with some gusty conditions and waves behind us, but let me see if I can get this jib rolled up. Okay, that's all there is to it. We'll tidy up the jib sheets and then we'll start the engine, round up into the wind, and drop the main. All right, engine is started. I'm gonna round us up into the wind and drop the mainsail. Down she goes. I'm going to turn on the autopilot, keep us pushed into the wind for a few minutes while I run up to the mast and push the sail down in the bag. The rest can wait till we get into the dock. I'm going to tidy up a few lines while we're motoring back towards the mouth of the marina, and then we'll come back when we're ready to dock. So with that loop on there, the wind's going to try to blow me a little bit off the pier, but I just put her in forward gear at idle speed. You'll see the rope get tight, and then it'll just pull me over. If the wind's strong, I put a little more power to the engine, but right there she'll just hold me right there. At this point I can get some dock lines on and everything's cool. And that's it. We are essentially docked. We'll get a couple more lines on, but we're not going anywhere now. No, I gotta go. Have fun. It was nice out there. All right, well, there was the end of the sail. We ended up 12.5 miles in 2.5 hours. Max speed of 7.3. So that's not too shabby. Considering the wind started out pretty light, I was a little worried, but picked up nicely. Tally Ho is a inviting place for me to hang out, and I enjoy the cabin as much as I do sailing sometimes. Here's a speed graph. Let me turn that radio off. Just flipping everything off we don't need. We leave the fridge on. Don't need a water heater. Don't need aft outlets. So this program called iSailor, I think it is. It's a kind of a fun program to run. You know, if you have the charts loaded, you can actually see where you sailed. I just made a couple of big tacks and just had a little fun with it today. I didn't get out that far, 5 miles, not even quite 5 miles, I don't think, from the marina, but it was still a good sail, and you can see our speed was pushing, you know, over 7 knots there for a while on one tack with the wind up. And anyway, that was a good sail today. So we've noted it in our log. It's 11 o'clock, right about the time I wanted to be headed home. So I'm going to say adios for today, and hopefully we'll be back out tomorrow for one more sail this weekend. Cheers.